So what y'all are saying on this show can have real life consequences. And y'all are doing all of this in order to have drama on TV. That is low down dirty. It's dark. It's not entertaining. And it's taking the show in a direction that's going to lose a lot of viewers. Welcome to La Vida Rosa. I'm your host, Pinky, and today we're going to be talking about Summer House Martha's Vineyard. So if you'd like to see more, then just stay tuned. Like, comment, and subscribe. Without further ado, let's get into this video. This episode was some nasty work. Nasty work. Filthy. Disgusting. Once you start bringing in dark accusations like this, especially when they are unfounded, the show starts to go downhill fast. We literally just saw this on Potomac. Okay, we saw Giselle do this with Candace's husband, Chris. What these women were playing around with this episode and gossiping and spreading and laughing and joking about and thinking it's cute to have this sort of discussion on camera, it's really dangerous, and honestly, it's Karen behavior. It's not like this season was the best anyway. Y'all was sitting up here crying every single episode, but y'all really let this woman come up in this black space and almost ruin it for me. Like, I really can't even enjoy the show like I was once before. I heard that Amir said that he was not going to come back unless she was a main cast member. Well, guess what? If she does come back as a main cast member, I will not be watching this show. Like, I don't know where the hard pivot from the original purpose of this show has come in at, but I don't care who the significant others are. This is supposed to be a black cast, and honestly, Amir can go. He acts like he brought so much this season, except for your messy girlfriend. You didn't bring nothing. You was the maid. You cleaned up. While the house do be nasty, they could pay for a cleaning service. They don't need you on this show. And I'm just beyond disappointed in the rest of the women on this cast that participated in that, but we'll get to it. So we're picking up with this argument from Bria and Simon. I know y'all don't like Bria. She ain't my cup of tea either. She on my last nerve too. But in this situation, I do think she handled the situation in a very childish, immature way, for sure. Stop putting your hands on people. Stop screaming, yelling, causing a scene. Stop threatening to break up with people every 2 seconds. That holds no weight when you just get over it the next day. So I totally agree with that. But the fact remains that she told Simon not to come downstairs in that pink flamingo outfit, and he did it anyway. He likes to be the center of attention, and a part of me feels like, yeah, he wanted to embarrass her. When he jumped in that pool last year, she snapped on him. So he knows how she feels when they get all dressed up and have a party. And I just don't understand why there were people in the comments defending Simon. Are y'all saying that he gets a pass because he's a white man? I don't know, but he needs to be accountable just like everybody else here. And she even said it herself later on in the episode. He acts totally different at his events. And I knew that. I already knew it. That's why I said, I wonder how you act at white events. I know you don't act like that at yours. He gets around the black events and he doesn't want to respect them. He wants to get up on the table and twerk. I felt that. I felt like he was not respecting the environment. But yes, Simon definitely can be checked because he is in a black space and ain't nobody else acting crazy like that. Yeah, they might be dancing or whatever, but you took it to the next level and you could be told about yourself. Now, could she have pulled him to the side and said that? Yeah, but he needed to be checked. I feel like both of them are extremely toxic. I feel like Simon is goofy and silly, so people are overlooking his ugly nature towards her. And I see it. I saw it clearly last episode. And we're going to get more into that later. At some point, we see Jasmine and a friend go upstairs and check on Summer. Summer had been MIA from that party for like, it seemed like hours. And finally, somebody noticed she was missing. And it was Jasmine. And it's just crazy how they really isolated her this season. We barely saw any of Jasmine because they barely interacted with her. But whose shoulder do people come and cry on? Who do people come and talk to when they get into it with somebody else? Everybody come and talk to Jasmine. She's at a party and not drinking. That's why she left. And she just felt uncomfortable in that situation. Plus, she's dealing with her grandmother's surgery and she's really feeling guilty about not being there. She said, she's feeling bad about that. She's trying to build a relationship with her mom. And it's funny because, she had these people gathered in her room and all of a sudden walks out of the bathroom after flushing the toilet, rubbing his stomach. And everybody's like, did you just take a dump? Like, where did you come? He was trying to slip out without nobody seeing him. It's like, first of all, your tall legged behind ain't sneaking out nowhere. Everybody can clearly see that you just came from the bathroom. And he was like, oh yeah, I used the air freshener. Get out. Why did you come to Summer's room of all rooms to take a dump? I would have been so upset about that. So then we see Amir basically trying to talk Bria off the ledge, and she completely steps on his foot trying to get Milo. Didn't say excuse me or nothing. Like, he was like, ow, and she just did not care. She is so selfish, y'all. So then she starts fake crying about the whole situation. I just get somebody there. Simon came in and Amir's asking like what the problem is, and Bria was like, I told him not to wear that flamingo suit and he wore it anyway. And here goes Simon, I thought it was a pool party. Like, he must think everybody in this room is stupid. Feigning ignorance. That's why I'm saying, you're not as dumb as you try to make yourself look, okay? You sat up there and said you thought it was a pool party and wasn't nobody at the pool, wasn't nobody in a swimsuit. I'm surprised Amir actually took Bria's side and was holding him accountable and said, stop making excuses, and basically told him that he needs to apologize. He tried to get out of apologizing, but Amir put his foot down and said, no, say I'm sorry. And honestly, the conversation really should have just ended there because both of them were just drunk, and she's very irrational in the first place, but they kept going, and so obviously they ended up arguing again, and she ran out and so drunk she could barely open the door. She ran upstairs and called her mom, taking it overboard, talking about he needs to get out, and the mother was like, do not make him leave. He's only gonna be there a couple of more days. And she was like, okay, I'll let him stay, but I still want to break up. Girl, you ain't going nowhere. Don't know how to believe them empty threats. The next day, of course, the house is very nasty. The house be nasty anyway, but Amir and Donald decided to get up and clean the kitchen, which was very nice of them. They were the only ones up there cleaning. And Preston and Amir, they talked about how they were going shot for shot that night before, and clearly Preston was just fine. Preston was kind of chipper. He woke up like Snow White and was cleaning and everything, all happy and perky. And Amir, this man was sickly the whole rest of the episode. He was saying how he was going to test his limit. It's like, bro, y'all are in y'all 30s. I know y'all on vacation, but testing your limit, grow up. Then we have Bria, Shanice, Noelle, and Natalie outside talking. Bria is talking about how Simon has been acting different ever since she told him that he couldn't stay more than a few days. Part of the reason why Simon is acting up could be because he wants more camera time like he did last season. He really want to be on this show. You just can't see it as clear as you can in Natalie. And then we have Natalie out of nowhere start incriminating Nick. Okay, she started all of this off. I want to make that clear. She was like, yeah, last night he left Tasia upstairs in the room waiting on him while he's downstairs trying to get into something. He was the host of the party. He can't very well leave the guests he invited downstairs just because his girlfriend goes upstairs. And second of all, just because you treat your man like an indentured servant, that's not how everybody else's relationships work. I feel like she threw that out there to kind of bait for information. She wanted to find something out about Nick. And it's like, I thought you, Amir, Nick, and Tasia were supposed to be like friends. I thought y'all were like double date, friendly friends. That's what y'all have been trying to give. Why are you trying to dig up dirt on him? The other girls completely take the bait, and Noelle was like, I wonder how his girlfriend would feel if she knew how he was acting 48 hours ago. Bria said it's strange how he switches up whenever she's around versus when she's not around. And look, I'm not even saying that they're wrong, okay? Because I said the same thing about Nick. But why do y'all feel the need to address her and bring it to her on TV to embarrass her? Why don't y'all confront him? He's the one that should have to answer for his actions regarding his girlfriend. And really, if we really gonna be real, that part of it is none of your business. Because we don't know what kind of relationship they have. They might have an open relationship for all we know. I know she saw last season. She's still with them. That didn't stop her from being with Nick. So really, you really don't even have a leg to stand on with that too much either. But I'd much rather you go to him than her. Bria was like, yeah, he was already being touchy-feely with Jordan and Summer. And it's like, as true as that might be, he already went to them, addressed it. He took accountability for it, apologized, and it's put to bed. Why are you bringing that back up? That had nothing to do with you. And then Noelle was talking about, well, if I had a boyfriend, I would have a problem with how Nick was posing with me in the picture. But Noelle, that's you. That is you. This is not your relationship. Natalie nominated herself to bring up this non-issue that's none of her business, that she was not around for. Bring this to Tasia to be messy, because why else would you need to bring this to her? They pretty much told her, no, I don't think you should do that. Don't do that. And she already had it made up in her mind that she was going to do it. Nobody else's significant other is being messy in the household but her. And so she ends up bringing all this information to Amir and tells him, yeah, I'm just going to have to tell her. And he claims that he tried to have a conversation with Nick at the beginning of the season. And at first, I thought he was being a good friend back then when he did that. Maybe he really was trying to let him know, how he was being. But then I'm like, the way Natalie is moving this season, I wouldn't even be surprised if that was premeditated for this whole storyline. Because clearly she wants to be on this show. She wants to be a main cast member. If Amir is sitting up here saying, well, I won't come back if she's not a main cast member. Clearly y'all are orchestrating this whole thing. Because I think even on the first episode, whenever she FaceTimed him, he was telling her, yeah, Nick is in the next room letting all the girls dance all over him. And I had to pull myself up out of there. Setting up the storyline. Because why didn't Amir, as soon as Natalie came to him about what the girls were saying about Nick, if that was really his friend, why didn't he go to Nick as a friend and tell him? Because he's in on it, and you can't tell me any different. And once again, I cannot stand that Amir brought this woman on this show to cause all of this dissension in this group of people she don't even like, that she doesn't even vibe with. Why are you not telling this woman, you shouldn't even be in this? Why are you not checking her and saying, this ain't none of your business, we just gonna stay out of that don't have nothing to do with us? Because you want her to do it, because you messy. So then Bria and Simon sat down again. Oh, I got so tired of them. Oh my God, so tired of them. So she called him out once again for being disrespectful. She said it was a black tie event, which, girl, that's a stretch, okay? Because all them pizza boxes, you could have stretched it and said it was like a cocktail hour or something like that. This was just not the time for you to be doing that. And like I said before, he doesn't act like that at his event, so he knows how to act. He just chooses to be like this with the black folk. So then he's like, well, you act bad at my events. And, you were around people for 5 minutes and got mad at them and decided to sit in the car for the rest of the event. And she said, well, you had me around people that said things to me, and you were not protecting me in that situation. And she said his family has said things because they don't agree with him being with the black woman. And they told him, oh, I didn't know you liked indigenous women. Go back to your country, and even pushed her. She had to push the girl back. Simon didn't intervene. Okay. And she basically said he turns a blind eye to racism. She said that he was blind to it and he, doesn't see it. He doesn't want to see it, Bria. He doesn't want to see it. He's playing in your face, okay? And you're allowing it for whatever reason. You're having some sort of dissonance, but he brushed everything you said off. He didn't apologize. He didn't say I was going to do better. He didn't say I was going to check my family. He didn't validate you in any way. And you still went over there and hugged that man and said it was, we're going to work through it. Why are you with this white man from Germany of all places? He doesn't respect you. He doesn't respect your culture. And I know you better not never have no kids with him, because you really going to be sorry after that. If you're making me be on Bria's side, you must be a nasty piece of work yourself. But I also feel like it's her fault. Like, you're choosing to stay with someone that doesn't respect you at all. You're choosing to accept this treatment. Why? Because he has money? You willing to sell your soul like that? I can't have too much pity for you in that case. Then everybody goes for their bike ride, which looked very fun and eventful. I really would have enjoyed something like that. Nick and Tasia were upstairs and debating on whether or not they were going to go, because Nick forgot to tell her that they were going to be having a biking event. She didn't have anything to wear to it. All she had left to wear was this really cute, kind of semi-formal dress. It was very pretty, but it was like, she was kind of really overdressed for what was happening. But they were just going to go ahead and head to the spot where they were going to eat and set the table up for everybody to come to after they got done bike riding. But it was just crazy to me how when they did come downstairs, Shanice saw her and she was like, they're a weird couple. I'm like, where's all this animosity coming from, Shanice? Because when you just all over Nick telling him he needed to lock his door because you were going to jump his bones a couple of nights ago. So whenever they pulled up to the restaurant, he was talking about how, yeah, we need to get on the same plan. He said, we need to get on the Arrington family plan. And she was like, but my last name is Burroughs. My last name is Burroughs. I feel like the silence was very loud. Okay. They did ask Nick in the confessional, why haven't you popped the question yet? And he just gave a bunch of word salad, did a lot of this, but wasn't saying nothing at all. Nick, if you don't want this woman, leave her alone. If you don't want this woman, let her go. I do respect that he wanted to make this a good trip for her this time around, and that he was, treating her like a queen while she was there. But clearly, there is a lack of respect in this relationship and how you act when she's not there. And it does beg the question. You have been with her for 2 years. You claim you want to get married. Do you want to marry her? I don't know. She does seem like a beautiful woman. She does seem like a great woman. You're the one whose actions say different. So now everybody's done with the bike riding and everybody came to lunch. Amir still is toe up. They tell him he needs to drink a ginger ale because y'all know in Black culture, ginger ale is your medicine. It doesn't matter how severe. It doesn't matter how small. But no, for real, if you drink ginger ale and you eat saltine crackers, a lot of times that will settle your stomach if it's acting up. So then we see Natalie trying to get Taja's attention, telling her, we need to talk, saying that all across the table. And she walks over to her and starts rubbing her hair, petting her hair like she was a dog or something. Like, I was so offended. First of all, you don't just be touching on Black women's hair. You just don't. I might have something that it's very fragile, and if you pull and tug on it too much, it might fall. I don't need you to be touching on my hair, okay? You don't know how much time I spent on my hair just to save all the time and trouble and being gone off on. Leave it alone. Don't touch it at all. But because she was just rubbing her fingers through, I was like, oh. But she was like, yeah, I need to talk to you about something. And she was like, about what? She was like, I just want to keep you in the loop before anything comes to your attention. And I love how she shut her all the way down. And she did it in such a nice, classy based way. She was like, oh, no, I'm good. I'm about to leave. No, I'm fine. Thank you, though. Just shut her down really nice and sweet and swift. Not only was Natalie molded because she wanted screen time, okay? But she was also looking very caught because Nick was sitting there too. So she knew she was going to have to answer for this later. So at that point, they just got up and left because they had to take Donald and Tasia back to the airport anyway. It was time for them to go. And he was like, are you okay? She was like, no, I just want to go. She was really upset. And I'm just like, Natalie, go focus on nursing your man. He's sitting up here queasy, can't sit up, looking like he about to throw up at any second, and you sitting up here, you worried about the wrong thing. Worry about your man. That's how I know you don't care about him. You was not worried about him not feeling well, being sick, even though he did it to himself. That's still your man, and the only reason why you're there and you're not even checking on him, making sure he's good, getting him a ginger ale, getting him a Gatorade, rubbing his back, telling him it's gonna be okay. That's how I know she don't care nothing about that man. That's how I know she don't like him for real, because she saw him in pain and didn't care, and literally only came by his side when Nick started texting her, checking her, asking her what was going on, because Nick did message her telling her that Tasia was upset about what she just tried to do, and asking her what it was about. And she immediately snitched on Noelle, Shanice, and Bria. And I know all y'all sitting there looking stupid, sitting up here confiding in this woman y'all don't even know. Amir was strategizing with her, writing this text message saying, well, make sure he knows that you are trying to help him and you are trying to get ahead of it, trying to Olivia Pope the situation, when really your girlfriend, and I feel like you too were masterminding this a little bit, was trying to start all this drama. In his confessional, he was like, well, she was just trying to look out for her girl by embarrassing her on TV. If that's really your girl, you'll just text her and let her know what's going on. You'll pull her to the side in the house, something, off camera. But no, you wanted to have a moment, and you got caught, and now you want to try to switch it up and act like that's not what you were trying to do. And she's very manipulative to him and the audience. She must think we're all fools or something. I just don't want to be viewed as problematic. Girl, you've been a problem ever since you came on this TV screen. And I mean the FaceTime with Amir. You've been problematic since the moment we even heard your name. Before everybody gets back to the house, Nick and Preston get there first. And Nick is at the house fuming because these accusations against him are unfounded. He was willing to accept it from Jordan and Summer because he saw where they were coming from. And even earlier in the episode, they played plenty of times where Jordan was like, don't touch me, get off me. They all addressed it and moved forward. So Preston brings up the fact, why is no one actually coming to you? People love to have these little side conversations. Say this to this person, say this to that person, but won't address the person and actually attack the problem head on if there is one. So everybody comes home. Natalie is afraid to walk up to Nick because she knows that he's upset about what happened, and she knows she's the main culprit. I think at this point, Nick didn't realize how involved Natalie was in the mess. Plus, Amir is right there trying to smooth things over, and you ain't gonna check her, but you don't want her to look like the bad guy, even though she's the one bringing in all of this negative energy. Here comes Simon over here to apologize to Nick. I think in the moment, Nick didn't like what he did, but I don't think it was that deep that Nick wanted to have a full conversation with him. He was like, I don't need to talk to you. I need to talk to your girlfriend because apparently I touched her inappropriately and we need to have this conversation. Feel like they showed Bria standing out there hearing that, but instead of going downstairs to confront the situation, she ran to the bathroom. Because Noelle was downstairs, he addressed her first and said, Noelle, I know you want to be included, but saying that kind of stuff about me is messed up. And this is the first time we ever seen Nick get a little hype, child. Nick was not having it. When it comes to these accusations, he's taking them very seriously. And I would too. I would be very upset to hear that these things were said about me and they were false. Noelle came back and was saying, it was not that serious to me and I didn't feel uncomfortable. Then why did you feel the need to add that into the conversation? You knew what the conversation was. You knew everybody was saying he was being handsy, and you know the connotation that they had. So for you to pile on and throw in there, oh yeah, well, he was touching on me too. Even if you didn't feel that way, you're adding on to it. Now y'all want to realize it was a mistake to include Natalie. I mean, did y'all not see how she ran and told Jordan about what Summer said about her? She was just in her confessional saying, like, I don't know why Natalie did that. That wasn't her place. It's not. But y'all also shouldn't have said it too. Y'all shouldn't have given her the ammo to be able to use. And then Noelle. Noelle disappointed me so bad this episode because I really like her. But she handled this situation all wrong, okay? And then she had the nerve to say in her confessional, if you're not guilty, why are you so mad? The way she just flippantly said that, knowing that these sort of accusations really could ruin somebody's reputation, of course he's mad because he's being lied on. Anybody would be infuriated by that. Noelle calls Shanice and Bria to come downstairs because she feels like she's the only one in the hot seat. Nick was like, Shanice, do you think I get handsy with you? And she said, not with me, but you do have wandering eyes. Shanice, you constantly violate everybody around you by flashing your naked body without consent to everybody in the room. It was a whole problem last season and you continue to do it. You do know people go to jail for that. You can't just go around flashing people against their will. Even if we put that to the side, when you do that, you know you're looking for attention. You want people to look at you. People are going to look at you because it is a spectacle. And that's why you do it. So now you're going to penalize somebody for looking? Not to mention 48 hours ago, you yourself were handsy on Nick. Had your hands all over him, disrespecting a girlfriend, saying you was going to sleep with him. He needs to lock his door before you come in there and take it. Somebody could say that was predatory. Worst of all, you know how it feels to be falsely, and I'm going to put that in quotations because we don't know the truth. But you claim you know how it feels to be falsely accused with that stalker allegation. So why are you now flipping this on him? Is it because you're mad that he Googled you? Because it's starting to feel a little revengeful. I don't know. So when she brought up the whole thing about having wandering eyes, he was like, so looking is handsy? Looking is handsy now. And she's like, oh, well, you didn't touch on me. And she was kind of getting the attitude. It's like, y'all need to be the one clearing this up. I don't know where y'all attitude coming from. Y'all are creating this false narrative on him. He has a right to be mad. Why are you having an attitude? He basically was like, why was this even a topic of conversation? Noelle said it wasn't that serious to bring it to you. She was looking at the other girls to back her up. Say something, say something. Low-key, that was leaving her hanging a little bit. But at some point, Natalie did admit that she was the one who wanted to bring it up to Tasia. Here comes Amir trying to run and jump in front of any bullet she may receive, even though they're deserved. She should be the main one Nick should be mad at. Especially after what she just said. You was the main one trying to stir this pot. You deserve to get all the heat you get. Then at some point, Jordan came in and jumped in on the pylon. Girl, y'all already had the conversation. You said you don't feel like he was doing it in a perverted way. He apologized. Why did you feel the need to come in and say that? Everybody already knew your position on it. She just loves to come in and make things worse. She's so negative. So then we have Alex, who was the only one to really stand up and have Nick's back in this moment. He was like, y'all rag on him all the time, but y'all don't actually address him with what y'all are saying. Finally, Bria comes downstairs, and I feel like Nick probably is the most hurt by her because, like I've been saying every review, I don't know why Nick allows Bria to run all over her and then he's the first one to run after her when she's crying. I feel like him and Amir, they're like the main people that will run after her and coddle her, almost justify what it is she's doing. And then she'll turn around and flip out on y'all and y'all never check her. Here she is proving once again why you should not be doing that. Why do y'all uphold that? But she came in saying, oh, I didn't say you touched me. I said you were loose, but you don't get handsy with me. And he was basically like confused, like, loose? What do you mean? And she was like, yeah, you do get really flirty with me, like on the boat. And really, they only showed a clip of her like non-twerking, and he was just basically hyping her up. All the other clips they showed were kind of friendly and platonic. The only thing that may kind of be misconstrued is when she asked him to take her to Nobu, and I don't even think that was like, it didn't sound romantic. Like, he was like, of course I will. Like, it wasn't like that. So for her to be trying to spin that, I know hurt him the most, because it's like, you're supposed to be my friend and you actually are taking our friendly interactions and trying to make them dirty. And I almost forgot, on top of that, Bria, you asked him to sleep in the bed with you for emotional support. If I was Nick, I would be releasing every bullet I had on everybody in that room that had something to say about me. Okay? Bria, you wanted me to sleep in the bed with you, Simon. Did you know that? Did she tell you that one? Shanice, you got bigger fish to fry being a stalker. And Noelle, I don't know if you're just mad that Alex didn't want you and you're taking it out on me, but that's not cute. She was trying to bring Shanice in and he was like, don't include her. I've already talked to her. We've had our conversation. I'm talking to you. I'm talking about what you said. And she was like, don't yell at me. Don't talk to me in that tone. And he was just going off and really telling her how messed up it is, how hurt he is. Like, why would you say something like that? And she was like, watch your tone. And at some point she was like, get mad. Let it out. Let it out. It just being so condescending and rude. I hope you saw right here that that's never been your friend. That's never been your friend. For her to treat you like that, get her off the show. For real, get her off the show. Amir and Natalie, they're all ruining this show. The drama they bring is unnecessary, juvenile, it's contrived, it doesn't make any sense, and the things y'all are saying on camera could ruin somebody's reputation for life. His career could be at risk for all y'all know. That's exactly what happened to Chris from Real Housewives of Potomac. He lost his job. So what y'all are saying on this show can have real life consequences. And y'all are doing all of this in order to have drama on TV. That is low down dirty. It's dark. It's not entertaining. And it's taking the show in a direction that's going to lose a lot of viewers. That's exactly what happened to Potomac. Their views took a slump last season because nobody wants to watch that. Amir is exactly what Kendrick was talking about when referring to Drake. Okay? He's biracial. Phenotypically, when you look at him, you see blackness, but culturally, he's white. He's going to have their back before he ever has ours. And that's why I don't think he belongs on this show. He would not hang out with black people outside of this show. He's here for a check. He's trying to bring his girlfriend to stir up turmoil on this cast. It's not right. And if he said he's not going to come back without her, get rid of them both. Because Simon clearly has his ways as well. They all can go because we need this to be a safe space for black people. And it can't be with them in it. Anyway, y'all, let me know what y'all think about this review down below. Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? I would love to hear your opinion. And I hope you enjoyed this video. And I'll see you in my next one. Peace.